All right. This is, I got a private message from a glass artist here on YouTube, Sunfire Glass, and he alerted me that there was another channel, Sheep and a Rowboat, and you were having problems with colors, and you're working on, here's the real kicker. There are several types of glass out there. My best guess, because I tried looking on Google for the trade name that you mentioned in your video, and I couldn't find that actual company. My guess is that they're a redistributor for one of two types of glass, either bullseye, which is used primarily in slumping and fusing, or Moretti rod, which is my guess. I'm guessing that's what you've got. It is so important to understand that colors work on a principle of capturing microscopic particles of precious metals, almost, and when I say precious metals, I don't mean just gold and silver, but yes, they're used too, but capturing heavy metals and precious metals within the atomic substructure of the glass. And when you heat the glass, sometimes the actual particles that are used to pigment the glass can start to sublime or go from solid to gaseous form within the glass, and that'll cause it to boil. Or you can actually have some colors, like a cadmium is a great example in the boro world. Cadmium's yellows and oranges and reds. The color can be burned right out of the rod very easily. When it happens, when it gets really advanced, you can actually watch it right in front of yourself in the torch fire. There's ways to combat it. It's very important to understand flame atmospheric conditions. I'm assuming you're working on like a hothead style torch where you've just got propane. It's really important for me to know if you've got oxygen, because that changes a lot too. If you're working with an oxygenated flame, it's critical that you learn neutral, oxidizing, and reducing. You know, too much oxygen, too much propane, because the mix is critical. And the other thing that's critical is how far out in the fire you hold the glass. Obviously, the closer you bring the rod towards the torch, you get closer and closer to the hot zone, right where the cones are. And that'll work fast, but that will burn your colors to nothing, like just boom. So first thing, keep it farther out in the fire and be willing to work a little slower. If I have a color that's just been problematic, now you can see this color obviously is not what the raw rod was. In this case, I actually wanted that. This is called a striking color, which is, I doubt you have a striking color, but it's possible. Striking colors change as you work them in the fire, and then by keeping them in an oxidizing or a reducing atmosphere and special kiln cycles, you can make them change to infinite colors, really. This is an exotic blue. It comes in this dark color here, and then as you work it in the fire, you get everything from mirror finish silvers to light blues and emerald colors right down to almost a pale white, because there's tons of metallic silver in this rod, and it's literally fuming off silver as you're working. It's kind of cool. But what I was saying is, if you have a color that you don't want to change, even like this striking color would be a good example, case it. Take a piece of clear rod and just run stripes around it so that it's cased. And then when you melt that and pull that into your stringers, you will already have cased it with clear, and then the color won't burn out in the torch as badly. I mean, you can still do it. You get it hot enough, and just about any color in glass will. One more note is, you should really go online and check out Winship Designs, check out Whale Apparatus. There are some very reputable companies that have been around for a really long time, and if you're buying your glass, obviously in small quantities, you'd be surprised. Going to an actual glass distributor will save you so much money over buying it from a craft store. The only times I've ever seen glass in a craft store, it was running like 5 times what the same glass would have cost at a glass distributor. If you're working with a propane only fire, or a propane only torque, stick with the soft glass, which is the Moretti. It has more stable color chemistry than most of the lesser expensive companies. What you see is what you get with their glass, and they have probably one of the best palettes. If you need help finding out where to get a hold of any of this stuff, don't hesitate to ask.